Hello and welcome to TinkerTanks-WoT. We're in a Tier 4 battle on Redshire in the the Russian premium light tank, the Valentine II. Now, Valentine was a British light tank, and it was well liked by its crews for its rugged reliability. And they fought in North Africa and through the early part of the war, armed initially with the ubiquitous British 2-pounder, and then move it up to the 6-pounder, and I believe even some howitzer mounting versions as the war progressed. Now, with the total production of I think a bit over 8,000, the Valentine accounted for a quarter of the British tank production during the war, and of those 8,000, nearly half of them were sent to the Russians under the Lend-Lease program. And the Russians do things their own way. The British use this as an infantry support tank. The Russians used it as more of a general purpose tank. And so the Russian version is a bit faster and is armed with the Russian 45 millimeter gun. And the Valentine is not at all a quick tank, but it is quite heavily armored for its tier, with 60 millimeters of hull armor all the way around and 65 millimeters of armor on the turret. So it's slow and heavily armored, which is rather the opposite of the usual situation one finds with a light tank. But its real Achilles heel is that gun, the 45 millimeter. It is dreadful. It has a very high rate of fire, but with standard armor-piercing ammunition, it only has 51 millimeters of penetration and 47 alpha damage. And at Tier 4, that's really not adequate. Even APCR only gives you 84 millimeters of penetration and the same weedy 47 damage. But with that rate of fire, if you penetrate, you can stack damage up on your enemies surprisingly quickly. And the good news is that this is a premium tank. It gets a bonus to both experience and credits earned. So if you're running a premium account on this premium tank, you can afford to use premium ammo and still turn a profit. And that's a very good thing because you're going to have to. Now, I drove the British version of the Valentine, and or rather tried to. I had no luck with it at all, so I went to consult the forums and pick up some tips on how to play this tank successfully. And the consensus on the forums was that the Valentine was simply a dreadful tank. And so one might wonder why I bothered to buy the Soviet version of it with its weedy gun. Well, frankly, it was on special, and it was quite cheap, and it came with a garage slot and 30 days of premium. And I thought, what the hell, I'll just buy it, I'll give it a whirl, and sell it on, keep the garage slot, and of course the 30 days of premium account. And, no big deal. Except I discovered something about this tank. It seems to be genuinely greater than the sum of its parts. It actually works. And I've had a lot of quite good games in this tank. Nothing spectacular, but I have a lot of very good, solid games. And I wound up keeping it and engaging this Stug now, and I've bounced, so I'm switching to APCR ammunition and light him up with my first shot. Always gratifying to see that waterfall of numbers scrolling upwards. So, what can it be called, a waterfall if it's going upwards? Well, doesn't really matter. I do like to see it. And engaging these tanks from the side, with 84 millimeters of penetration, the only thing that really gives you a problem at Tier 4 is the Matilda. And that's good because unlike other Tier 4 tanks, this tank gets premium matchmaking. You will always be top tier in Tier 4 in this tank, which is a good thing because even with premium ammunition, this tank would be very poor in a Tier 5 or Tier 6 match. And I've got this fellow right out in the open, so I'm going to switch to auto aim. And sometimes when I'm side on to someone like this and they're out in the open, I will use auto aim because it enables me to keep an eye on the map and make sure my situational awareness is up to snuff. And there's the artillery. I'll put up some blind shots over because I do love to munch on some artillery. And having trouble hitting him, but I do manage to get him in the end. So the action seems to have gone this way, and I'm hoping those tanks that are visible in the middle of the map are not the nearest enemy, because one of them's coming back towards me. This is not a tank you're going to chase the enemy down in. Fortunately, this fellow's cooperating by coming back to try and engage my friend up on top of the hill, which gives me more of those lovely side-on shots. I still bounce the first shot, but able to take him apart quite quickly with that rapid-fire gun. And now we've got a martyr, and I've taken a lot of damage to my health, and he's got a pretty good gun. So this is it for me. I'm not quite able to take him out before he takes me out. But as you can see from the cap counter, my team is winning anyway. So that's the end of the game for me, and we did move on to win. So a pretty good result. Second class mastery badge, fire for effect, fighter for killing more than 4 vehicles, arsonist for burning up that stug, and bruiser for doing a significant number of critical hits. 907 total damage with 150 spotting damage. 5 enemy tanks killed, 2 more damaged. You know, you can't complain about that. And I actually find myself, I like this tank. It's actually quite good. Now, it helps that I was able to drop a 100% light tank crew into it. The other advantage of premium tanks, of course, is you can drop in any crew from that nation and class of tank, which is what I did. Because the crew it comes with, of course, is 50%, and they're crap. Anyway, the Valentine 2 Russian Premium Light Tank Tier 4. Who knew? That's about it for this time. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.